We're live. Okay. Hello, Shop Title Home. Welcome to our live cooking. Let's wet the whistle. Hello, Joker. Hello, CG Nat. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Lady Jane. All right, so I'll just give everyone a minute to kind of get settled, get everything together. I'm going to go grab my pie shells out of the freezer, and then we're good to go. So I've got my pie shells. I'm just going to pop them out so they're ready to go. Hello, Savor the Sip. Nice to see you. Mike McKenzie, I see you there. So today we're actually making a veggie pot pie. It's one of my family's favorite dishes. I've been pescatarian for, I want to say, the better part of 5 years now. But obviously it didn't always start that way. We used to do the No Meat Novembers where we would try and cut meat out for at least a month, which worked great. And then the next year we're like, you know what, like let's try doing 2 months. So we did 2 months and we've never really looked back. But a part of kind of getting on to the whole eating no meat was getting used to not eating meat. And I think our brains play a little bit of a trick on us sometimes and thinking if we don't see that big piece of protein, we don't see that big piece of chicken or meat or beef or something, we feel like we're not full. And so in the beginning, to kind of get used to it all, we had to kind of make these traditionally meat forward dishes like pot pies and shepherds or spaghettis or, you know, those traditional meat dishes without meat. And I think that was a great way to kind of start tricking ourselves into thinking we were full and when we were full. And slowly it's progressed to where now we can just do that boring bowl full of veggies. So I'm just getting my pie shells ready, sitting off to the side, ready to go. And then we're going to start cooking. All right, cooks, let's get going. This meal's super quick. It's really easy to get going. So let's just get things started. So we're going to fire up our cooktops to a medium-high heat. Again, all of our produce is already washed, ready to go. And let's get chopping. So of course, we do our onions and our garlic first, as always. Take off those ends. Slice down the middle. Take off that outer shell that we might not find as desirable. You can do a nice loose chop here because it's going inside the pot pie. It doesn't need to be visibly beautiful, but you do want everything to be bite-sized so it's incorporated nicely in the dish. Again, we were able to source a lot of our veggies locally. These here are from the August Farms, the shallots and our garlic. It's always great to be able to shop and support local, not only to support our local food systems and all of that, but nutrition-wise. Your food's losing nutrition every kilometer it spends on the road. So the closer that your food comes from to where you live, the more nutritional value you're gaining. So of course, being in Canada, we lose a lot of fruits in this time of the year, but we have great turnips, radishes, onions, potatoes, carrots. We've got some really good greenhouse establishments that allow us to still enjoy, like green onions, and some of our berries even are still enjoyable. Tomatoes, there's fantastic tomatoes right now that actually get better, pulled a little bit early, ripen on the truck a little bit, and then come straight to your house. So again, it's just about becoming familiar with what is good to eat during the season, where to get it from, because quality is king. So I've got my onions, I've got my garlic ready to go. I'm going to give a little bit of oil here to my cast iron that's nice and hot. No more than a tablespoon. And let's get going. Sizzle, sizzle, we're good to go. So we're just going to let our onions and our garlic cook off in there for a couple of minutes while we get everything else ready to go. So next we're going to get our peppers, our celery, and our carrot ready to go. As with most produce, I do not peel off the skins. You are more than welcome to give it a quick peel and you're good to go. I just give it a really strong really strong scrub with the brush, and I think that's good enough. So again, we're thinking bite size, cutting these into quarters each, and then once I get the quarters cut down, then I'll slice them. And this pot pie, even though we're not using chicken, we're going to be using chickpeas in replacement. It's so good. It's so rich, so hearty. It's perfect for this time of the year. And I promise you will not miss the meat. So at any point, my fellow cooks, if you have any questions, feel free to throw in a little message. I'm a little bit ahead of you, so I might lag in answering you right away. But just put a question in there. I will answer as quickly as possible. Perfect. And for those of my cooks that are tuning in after the fact, because as you know, you don't always have to have the meal kits for our live shoots. I post everything not only to Instagram TV, but I've also got a YouTube channel that we're slowly but steadily populating with instructional videos. Everything from, nice long hour-and-a-half meals that require, a couple of courses and a lot of great ingredients, to quick 20-minute roasting veggies, gotta get out of here kind of meals. So these are starting to cook up a little bit, got a little bit of translucent, they're soft. So I'm going to pick up my pace here a little bit with my chopping. Celery, I'm going to half it before chopping it down. Peppers have been having a really hard time this year with the weather, the way that it was so hot all summer, and then it flash froze. A lot of farms didn't have the chance either to get their winter equipment up. A lot of their winter equipment got blown over. So peppers have been having a really, really hard time this year. All right, moving. How are you guys doing out there? Let me know if I'm getting a little too ahead of you with these preps. You need me to slow down a little. I'm always down for having a glass of wine while I wait. Okay, so I've got my carrots, I've got my celery, I have my peppers ready to go. I'm going to toss them in here with the onions and the garlic, and then we're going to get spicing. Now, I did provide this meal kit in 2 different sizes. There was the full family size, which is a larger portion, and there's the single size. So for those of you that are cooking a single, because I'm cooking a large regular size, if you hear me say, you know, two potatoes or whatever, the proportions aren't quite where you're at, don't worry, just put in what you got. I'll try to remember that there are 2 versions of this though at the same time. You have all the same ingredients though. So if I say put the chickpeas in, put the chickpeas in, whether it's a full can or you just got a portion for yourself. Okay. So while that's cooking down, I'm going to get my spices cooking down. Right here we have a spice blend. It's available on the website in the full 4-ounce jar. But right here is just a little bit of a sample for you guys to throw in there. We've got a good 2 tablespoons in there of the pot pie spice blend. All of our spices are all organic, non-GMO, kosher, gluten-free, no fillers, no preservatives, nothing, just spices. And actually, in the new year, we're actually going to be eliminating all sodium. There's only about 2 grams of sodium max per spice blend, but I just found that, especially having family members that are paying close attention to things like sodium, you can kind of get lost in terms of what your intake is when you have a little bit here, a little bit there. So to kind of push forward and think about healthy lifestyle choices, the spice blends in the new year will have no sodium at all, because you can always just add the salt that you want. So go ahead, add all the contents of your pot pie. You got a little bit of paprika in there, you got some rosemary, you got thyme, salt, pepper, a couple other little things in there. So we're just going to let this cook off for a couple of minutes until you smell it getting nice and fragrant. While I wait for that, I'm going to get the rest of my vegetables. So we've got some really nice radishes here. Some of the larger size, we've got some turnips as well. We've got sweet potato, and then we've also got some broccoli as well that's going to go in there. So again, we're just going to get everything propped. Again, my skins, I don't take off of my potatoes. Feel free to if you would like to. But I do chop my ends. Now you can always use regular potatoes if you want. I chose to use sweet potatoes just to kind of get a little more bang for our buck in there. So yeah, we're just going to keep chopping away here, get everything ready to go. Ends always come off of our radishes and our turnips. And radishes and turnips are really, really easy to use in all of your dishes. They take on the flavor really easy of whatever you're making. I love to heavily spice them. If you're eating them on their own, a little bit of Sunday rub on there, a little veggie cure is fantastic. Perfect. All right, so let's get the rest of our vegetables in there. The broccoli will go in at the very, very end. We want to kind of be able to keep its color as much as we can, and we don't want it to get mushy. And since it will be baking off in the oven, it'll have plenty of time to get tender. Take a nice little sip of wine as we wait here. All right. So So our veggies are cooking up nicely. I can smell the spices coming in really nice and strong. So let's start thickening up this baby. I gave you guys some flour. Just dump it all in there. And so we're just gonna toss everything around so that the flour becomes coated onto the vegetables. You don't want it to be white anymore. You want to actually see it starting to melt in and take on a brown almost color for a proper roux here. Perfect. Now you can start to see a bit of your spices to start to stick to the bottom. So probably going to start to stick to the sides a little bit. That's perfectly fine. We're going to deglaze in a little bit, so that's perfect. Just keep it moving because you don't want anything to burn. Yeah, see, mine's getting nice and incorporated. All the white's disappearing. And so let's start adding some liquids. Now this is where we might start to have different measurements in terms of our sizes. Everyone has a preset cream. Now we all have a stock as well. Let me grab my stock as I speak of it. So we've got this organic vegetable broth here. I actually have a really good friend, Matt Kubicek, who actually just started making local broth. So I'm hoping to start purveying from him very soon, Mr. Kubicek. All right. We're going to pour in about half of our stock. So whatever I gave you for stock, you're going to pour in about half. So if you got the box, half of the box. If you got a jar, half of the jar. All right. So we've got our stock in there, add our cream, all of it. There we go. Get that nice and mixed around. All right, now we're gonna want this to come up to a boil. Because we've got the cream in there, we don't wanna turn up too high to scald the cream. So I'm gonna bring it up to like a medium-high heat. I'm also going to add a little bit of salt. Perfect. Now you should already be able to see from your broth base, just looking at it, you should see all the spices, the herbs. It should have a very almost like light tan color to it. And that means you've done everything right. She chills. So while she's waiting, I'm going to get the broccoli ready to go. And as soon as the broccoli is ready to go, you can just throw it in there. Again, about making those bite-sized pieces. Sometimes you just gotta... Beauty. So I'm going to get my broccoli in there. Parmesan cheese, or corn, give it a good mix around. Okay, so we're going to wait for this to come to a boil. While we're doing that, we're going to get our egg wash ready so that we're ready to set our pan, our pie shell, sorry, and then we're also going to get our oven preheated. Perfect, pot pie. So while we're waiting for that to heat up, I set it to 425. I'm just going to clear up this area a little bit here. we're waiting. So we're gonna make the egg wash. So everyone got eggs with their kits. Simple, break it. Touch of water. I had water. I'm gonna use my coveted flow water. Just a splash. And it's ready to go. My pot pie is already starting to bubble up a little bit. Beautiful. So I'm just going to lower it down just a little bit. We want to keep it bubbling for sure while it's reducing, but we don't want it to scald, as I said before. So now I'm in like a medium, low heat while we wait for everything else to come together. All right, so we've got our pie shell. Now to prepare your pie shell is super simple. All you need to do is take your egg wash and wet the edges. This is just gonna help the two layers bind together. And some nice organic eggs from Kawartha. Again, local, free-range eggs. Beautiful. So yeah, we're just gonna be thickening and thickening and thickening, and once we get a nice thick consistency, we'll start pouring it in. I just lost a bit of my bubble there, so I turned up my heat a little bit. Beautiful. And so while I'm waiting for the rest of this to come together, I'm just gonna grab all the rest of our greens that we have. So we have our garden greens that we're gonna have on the side. And then for a bunch of you that have done both of our meal kits, I added a little bit of bonus of brownies. My family is huge on dessert, love brownies. When we finish the meal, no matter how good it was, the next question is what's for dessert. So a way that I can kind of be able to do that is I like to do nice, quick, easy desserts that take no more than like 20 minutes, a half an hour. The less dishes, the better. And so tonight I'm going to be making a batch of brownies. They're super quick. It's in one pot. It's a really easy kit that you can find on our website as well. Great for gifting, great for yourself. But don't let me tell you how to live. That smells so good. Perfect. Sip of wine. I'm just going to go grab all of my salad pieces and then I'll be right back. What do we got? No worries, we're good. Okay. So we've got some awesome Boston Bib lettuce. And these came from the Heritage Greenhouses, and they're a hydroponic greenhouse actually, so we're able to get some of those more delicate vegetables that we're used to getting through the year. We can get them a little bit longer with these guys. All of our tomatoes, our fantastic tomatoes we've got here. Despina, I would love to come cook for you every day. I got our tomatoes from Elmira's Own. Fantastic. A little carrot, a little cucumber. And we're in business. So this is obviously a lot less labor intensive than the mac and cheese was. We've got a lot less going on here. We're able to kind of focus in on what we're doing. We can take a step away, check on things that are going on. And as soon as this gets in the oven, you can walk away and forget about it. Not forget about it, but you know what I mean. So I would say that this pot pie, for my thickness, I need about 5 more minutes. I say a good 5 more minutes of this reducing down just so it's a little bit thicker, creamier, that nice thick texture, and then pop it into the oven. Alright, I'm just dangling my pie shell. Oh my god. Okay, so my pie shell is not working. It's actually getting stuck. The beautiful part is, it's my family eating it, so who cares? I'm just gonna pull it out and pop it on top. You're able to kind of, I'm gonna have to show you how to mush now. So if this happens to you, it happens to you. I let mine thaw a little bit too much, so it's kind of mushy and it's hard to get it out of the case. So it's falling apart on me a bit, but it's good. Shit like this happens. And we're gonna pull it together. Taste is king, my friends. Taste is king. Alright. So we're hot in our oven. This is almost where I want it. My veggies are already chilling out for a quick little salad we're gonna make. So why not make our dressing now ahead of time? You guys all have your ingredients, so let's do it. Another little bowl, separate. Oh my goodness, guys. The chickpeas. It happens. It's good. It's zhuzhing, don't worry. There we go. And again, it has more time in the oven, so I'm not overly concerned about it. Okay, so I've given you guys everything you need. You need a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Need a little bit of maple syrup. A little bit of veggie cure. You can just give everything I gave. I gave you guys little pouches, so just dump it all in there. Your oil. And give it a nice whisk before you get your lemon in there. How's everyone doing out there? Let me know if you're falling behind. Again, I don't anticipate this being a problem. Lemon. There we go. Dressing is complete. Okay, so yeah, there we go. All of a sudden now it just got thick. And that's what we're looking for. Beautiful. Now, in my experiences, I find it is best if you place your pie shell onto a baking sheet now. If you do it the other way around, I just find that you end up with pot pie everywhere. All right. So the way I like to get her in there is I like to use a ladle. I just find it's a great way to kind of get the meat out of there. First, and just pile it in there nice. And again, all these meal kits are available to you guys online. You can order the entire meal kit where it comes with everything that you see here. So you're literally just having to put it together. Comes with step-by-step instructions for you to follow. There's an instructional video that you can access online with YouTube. And really, you're just set for success this way. Fill that pie nice and full with stuff. If you kind of want to do your own thing, you feel kind of versed, but you're just looking for a little bit of an idea of how to spice things properly, we also do just have the spice kit. The spice blend, sorry. So you can just get the pot pie spice blend, and that will go good with whether you're doing it with chickpeas, you're doing it with chicken, you're doing it with lamb, you're doing it with whatever you want to do it with. Beautiful. So I like to stack my pot pie high. Get those veggies in there. They're going to condense down a little bit, and you're going to have tons of this sauce, which is what I start filling with afterwards. So fill that pie up now with all of your sauce. I'm okay with it bleeding over. You can see I'm bleeding over already. And then we're just going to invert the second pie shell on top of our bottom pie shell, assuming yours hasn't fallen apart like mine. And if it has, then we're just going to make it beautiful. So as you can see, it's a massacre in here. Yeah. Oh, wow. All right, so I'm going to pull off our parts. All right. So I have these huge cracks in mine now because I've had to basically pull this pie apart out of the bottom. So all I want to make sure is I pull it to the edges. That's the most important. And then I'm just going to melt it together with my fingers. Brush the pot pie. Along the whole top. So coat the whole top with a little bit of egg wash. If you need to cut vent slits along the tops. Let the steam escape. A little bit of salt. And she's in the oven. And that's that. So, main part's done. I've got a little bit of leftovers here. I would normally just put it into a little freezer bag, and you can make a little mini pie shell for yourself later. Or like at my house, what normally happens is my husband starts coming down and snacking on what's in this pot. So let me get this out of the way because we're done. Ooh. So, as I was saying, now we've got our pie shell. We've got our dressing already done, so that's taken care of and out of the way. We've got all of our veggies here ready to happen. Salad will come together in like 2 seconds, so I'm not really overly concerned about it. Everything's been soaking here for a couple minutes. I'm going to get it out to dry. So by the time I'm ready to deal with it, we're ready to go. Beauty. So as I'm waiting for my pot pie, before I get my salad started, I'm just gonna make this super quick and easy dessert. It takes half a cup of butter. All you gotta do, turn on your stovetop. I got it at medium. It's ready to go. It's melting. In the brownie kit, you get absolutely everything that you need except for the butter. I didn't include the butter just because of different people's lifestyles. They like to have vegan butter. Some people use oil. So this way you can kind of control and maintain what you like for your lifestyle. So in the kit, you get these fancy little packages already pre-measured, ready for you to go. All you've got to do is mix it in the order that you're told to mix it in and bake it. So as I wait for my butter to melt up a little bit there, I'm just going to line a 8x8 baking sheet with some parchment paper. Oh, hello, my lady. Turn you down a little bit. You don't want to hear it fizzling out too much. Okay. So I'm just going to keep waiting for that to melt down. I'm going to have a sip of wine. How are you guys doing out there with the cooks? So you guys, all of us have our pot pies in the oven? That's what I want to make sure of. If you don't have it in the oven, give me a little shout right now. Or if you have some trouble with something, you can't figure something out, your pie shell fell apart just like mine. We're all good? Perfect. Again, the whole idea of this was that if there's simple ingredients, simple instructions, anyone can do this, right? Wine. What are we drinking tonight? Everyone's good? Perfect. We are drinking a 2014. It's delicious. Okay, so my butter's melted. Off with the heat. You guys still see me here? Perfect. So my heat's off. Again, I said it's easy. So, first things first, sugar. Done. Mix it in there. Vanilla in there for you. Dump it in. Beautiful. And now you need 2 eggs, which I provided to you. So there were no surprises today. Two eggs. Okay, next up, easy enough, we're gonna add all of our dry ingredients. So you got salt, you got flour, and a little bit of baking powder, as well as our cocoa powder. Again, everything is done here, and my little secret ingredient, so it's in there too. So it makes it addictive. And it's not the love. All right, wet's in there. Dry's in there, sorry, into the wet. Mix, mix, mix. Don't go too crazy because cocoa powder loves to fly. So So take it easy. Beauty, beauty, beauty. We're mixing, we're beautiful. Last step. More chocolate. And some easy enough. Give it a good mix. And that's it. Pour it into your pan and you're done. Now this gets baked at 325, so if you don't have a double like I do, you're gonna have to wait. But I'm cheating. Bake it on 325 for a half an hour. If you didn't put the nuts and the chocolate chips in it, then it'll be about 25 minutes. Just with the extra density, it adds a little bit more time on it. All right, so just pour that in there. Okay, we're good. Perfect. So rinse this off, pop it in the oven, and we're good. Okay, so we've got our pot pie in the oven, waiting to happen. We've got maybe 15 more minutes on it. Let's look on the light. Yeah, maybe 15 more minutes left. We've got our brownie mix done, made. It's gonna go into the oven right now. It'll take half an hour. Putting a timer just because I will forget now. That's been done. Now the last piece is our salad. And so the pot pie is already filled with a ton of great vegetables, so you don't have to be worried about having a side salad necessarily. I just find with having the dark, like rich, hearty flavors, it's nice to kind of lighten it up with the salad. Like I said, we got this really nice Boston Viv lettuce from Heritage Greenhouses. And it's simple, you just throw it in there. Throw it in there, cube up your tomatoes. I like to grate my carrots. I find it's a little bit nicer to eat than a chunk of a carrot in a salad. So I'm just gonna get my produce out of here, separated, while we wait. So it's been really great to kind of be able to do these meal kits with you guys. You know, I think that a lot of times we get kind of convinced by these corporations and food businesses that, you know, you don't have time to eat, you don't have time to make food, you don't have time. And I think I want to kind of pull back and be like, since when do we not have time to nourish ourselves? Since when do we not take time to make dinner as being a part of family time as opposed to taking away from family time? You know, what we put into our bodies is so essential to everyday life. And so I would love to just kind of bring back that focus of knowing what we're eating, knowing where it's coming from, and having our hands in the whole deal. This business has really allowed me to kind of take control of that. You know, I've worked in the industry of hospitality for 15 years, working everywhere from, you know, small mom and pop shops, you know, high capacity, high volume, high energy, to fine dining steakhouses. I've done it all. And I think what is always, you know, a main concern of the places that are doing it right is quality, quality, quality. So I found that if we're able to find quality ingredients that are close by, make them accessible by just communicating with each other, there's so much available to us that we don't realize. And buying back our time, you know, if we can cut a couple corners, a couple spice blends here and there, so we're not having to create all of these, you know, signature dishes on our own, absolutely we can have a little help. A little bit of marinade to speed along the process, let's do it. But I think that we definitely need to take the time to, you know, get back in touch with our food. We spend so much time and money and energy on what's outside of our bodies. I think we need to refocus and come back onto what's going inside. So whether it's the water we're drinking, the spices we're using, you know, because even just the quality of the spices we're using matters. You know, are you using organic spices? Are you actually getting the spice you're buying versus buying spices that are filled with salts, filled with preservatives, filled with additives, filled with other stuff that you didn't actually bargain for? I think that the idea here is to be able to take control, empower ourselves, and take control of our kitchens again, and stop letting people tell us what we can and can't do and what isn't right for our bodies. And so again, this food business of mine has allowed me to take control of the foods that I expose people to. You know, people often will ask, you know, where'd you get this spice? Where'd you get that spice? Why do you eat this? What's that? And I think this is a great way to be able to share these tips and tricks and things I've learned along the years. And so like I said, I've been a part of the industry now for 15 years, and as we all know with COVID, it's really kind of changed not just the way that hospitality is, but the way that everybody thinks and lives and the way that we operate in our day-to-day lives. And so I think taking stock of that and making the adjustments that are necessary was the smartest thing for us to do. And for me, that was getting in touch with the food again, getting passionate about the ingredients, and being able to create a product that I could be proud of again. That I think most of us, if we work especially in the sales industry, we want to sell something that we like, that we want, that we use, that we believe in. And so with Cole's Kitchen, I'm able to constantly create products that I'm proud of and that I like and my family enjoys, that are good for you. And good for you doesn't always mean, like, look, we just made a tray of brownies. It's got sugar, it's got the bad stuff, but I guess I figure if we're going to be using sugars, let's use good sugars. Let's use coconut sugar. Let's use, you know, organic, unrefined cane sugars versus white flours, processed, bleached, that world. And so I hope that you guys enjoy it. I hope that you guys are able to learn from it. I hope you're able to have some great meals out of it. And if even just one of you has a good dinner, my job is done. And so again, not only are you able to purchase on the website, but now we're also newly available at nibbly.ca, which is a great local grocer that makes groceries and healthy meal options available to the community at large. And so if you go to them, type in your postal code, see if they deliver to you, you're able to get same day delivery if you put your orders in before 12. So if you don't want to wait for my weekly deliveries and you need it right now, you're able to do that with Nibbly. And that is just one of the many places I hope that you are able to start enjoying Cole's Kitchen spice blends and marinades. So I'm done chopping on my tomatoes. Gonna grab a grater just to finesse these carrots. My pot pie is looking 5 minutes from being done. It's starting to crisp. It's definitely starting to get golden brown on the top. Yeah, 5 minutes max. Okay, so for my tomatoes, again, I'm just gonna grate them. Graters freak me out. I don't know what it is. I don't even know. Like, I must have had like some sort of like a bad experience somewhere in my life, because the fear I have of graters is normal. I don't think. Carrot. Complete. All right. So we've got our salad. We've got our dressing. We've got our pot pie, no more than less than 5 minutes away. We've got our brownies, which are timed, so I don't have to worry about that. We're looking at 52 minutes now we've been here. So I would say we'll be ready in the next 5 minutes or so. The live is gonna automatically cut off on me in 8 minutes. I would say that we should be done by then. If you're not done, wrap it up, get it on a plate. I think that we're doing good here. So I'll stick around here for the next 8 minutes or so, just in case somebody has a question, anyone wants to get caught up. If you want to know anything from me, now is the time. But yeah, let's just use the last couple minutes, wrap it up, ask questions like I said. Bon appetit.
We have a question.
What's the question?
Do you have to use canned chickpeas if you're using your own ingredients?
No, if you want to use your own chickpeas, by all means, go for it. You just gotta make sure you're soaking them overnight, cook them down so they're soft. You want them to already be cooked. You're not gonna do the cooking process in the chickpea pot pie, because if you try to just soak them and cook them down in that, you're gonna have hard chickpeas. So cook the chickpeas first. So do that 8-hour soak. Do the, I believe chickpeas are 90 minutes. I could be wrong and it's 60, but that's 60 to 90 minutes, whatever it requires to cook them. Make sure they're soft and then incorporate them into your pot pie. If you want to use chicken, in place the chickpeas, I would use shredded chicken, roast it, shred it, throw it in there. If you don't have the vegetables I use, put whatever you want in there. Regular potatoes, sweet potatoes, turnips, radishes. You could have squash, broccoli, cauliflower. You can really just make it your own. That's the great thing about this pot pie. The only thing I stick to my guns with are the spices, because the taste is king. If you use quality, fresh, organic ingredients, it makes the difference every single time. So that'd be my only suggestion, is make sure you're using good quality ingredients to start off with. Is that it? Amazing. So that was easy. I'm gonna pour myself a glass of wine. Camera lady, would you like a glass of wine?
Always.
And I guess on that note, I'll say thank you to my mom, who has come and taped all of these for me and set up things for me and made all of this possible.
Aww.
We don't have wine glasses because this house is cursed, and every glass breaks in this house.
Thank you.
So cheers, people, to another great meal kit night. I hope you enjoy it. I know you'll enjoy it. I know you'll enjoy it. For those of you that just watched along and didn't get the kit, go buy the kit, watch us back later, do it in your own time. Or better yet, stay tuned and join us for our next cook-along. We're gonna take a little bit of time off for cook-alongs. We've got lots of holiday orders that we gotta get caught up with, sent out, packaged, so I'm gonna be focusing on that for the next couple of weeks. Along with, we will obviously have some new spice blends and sauces and some good stuff coming up for the new year, so you wanna stay tuned for that. So the next couple of weeks, we're just gonna kind of hunker down, focus on getting all those holiday gifts out to you guys, all those Kobo kits that you're killing me with. They will all get out to you. And I'm really excited about what I have for the new year. I've got some really great blends, some great kitchen basics to add to your pantry, to really get you guys in your kitchens and cooking and confident and making good dishes. You guys will have people lined up around the block waiting for your dishes as well. I'm always down for suggestions. Some of the best ideas that we've come up with and the most successful products, should I say, have been out of suggestions by you guys, or questions by you guys, or custom orders by you guys. Those have been by far my greatest learning experiences, as well as some of the most successful products coming from you guys. So I love your feedback, good or bad. Let me know. It's all a learning experience here. I appreciate all of your support thus far. This has been a very beautiful little baby of mine that I've been creating, and all of your support is appreciated. So enjoy your dinners. Have a great meal. Follow me if you're not following me. You can also go to It's Cole's Kitchen, where you get to see a little bit more behind the scenes of cooking or doing menu development. Go to my page. You will see the link to YouTube, where you are able to follow up on these videos, get access to videos as they come out. We're starting TikTok. it's a learning experience, but it's great. So we're trying to get out there. We're going to be on all these different platforms, making ourselves more and more accessible to you guys, making recipes easy to follow along to, and yeah, making you all kick-ass cooks in your kitchen and making everyone sit around the table. We're talking about the food. We're talking about how good it all is, and let's just start making time for dinner again. So again, thank you. My pot pies. 3 minutes from being done. I was hoping it'd be done. I think I might get it out in time. But if not, it's not a big deal. Everything will be done. It's all delicious. Everyone's looking at me anxious. They want to eat. Like, let's get this done. So I hope that you guys are just as excited about your meals. And yeah. Yeah? I think we're good? We're good. Okay, guys, we're done. I'm starving. Salad, done. Pot pie. It's done. My mom hates my oven mitts, so that's what I'm trying to avoid. I was trying to avoid taking it out of the oven because she ridicules me every time I bring these out. Yeah, see, I don't know if you guys can see. Let me see what you guys can see. You can't quite see what I'm seeing, but you can see it's golden. It's not quite where I want it to be, so honestly, I'm going to put it back in. 2 more minutes. It's Jess. Hey. I'd like some waffles. I'm watching you. And so for those of you that are joining kind of later to the game, we've been making dinner. So we made dinner together. We're almost done. We've got our salad that's done. We've got a pot pie that is moments from being done. And then we also have a set of brownies, which is going to be amazing. Hey, May. Driving and learning to cook. Okay, girl. Multitask it. I've never seen it before. If anyone can do it, it's you, Miss Morgan. So I'm going to turn this off. Our pot pie is complete. Oh yeah, nice and crispy. So she's in shambles. But she's delicious. So we're going to cut into this bad boy. And I'll let you guys see on my story separately, since this feed's gonna cut any minute. Cool, so we got our pot pie, slice her up. This is a large portion for like 6 to 8 people. Enjoy, guys. Let me know how you enjoyed it. Tag it at Cole's Kids, hashtag Cole's Cooks, whatever. Let me know, let me see it. I love seeing your guys' creations. So have a great night, enjoy your brownies, and be safe. A kitchen tour. This is it. This is the kitchen, guys. This is like, that is the kitchen. Grapefruit collagen. Oh, how is the collagen water? Does it taste different? Is it? You're gonna look 15 years younger, is what I've heard, May. I need a bigger kitchen. That's what I need. This is what I've discovered, is I need a bigger kitchen. We have this little makeshift island that we've created here for our cooks, but like, I need like a house-sized kitchen, like my whole house kitchen, if you know what I mean. No. It needs to set. It needs to set for like 5-10 minutes before you cut into it, because otherwise it'll just start falling everywhere. So give it a second. Give it a second.
Where's the brownies?
The brownies are... I'll let anyone cares about the brownies, apparently. It's got 7 minutes up on it. Oh yeah, it's nice and risen. All right, so we're done.